Running a brokerage is hard work, so whether you're focused on building your own sales pipeline, hiring the best agents, leveling up your team's production, or protecting the culture you've built, you're in the right place. Real estate brings the challenges, and we share the solution. Welcome to the show dedicated to broker entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Brokerpreneur podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears, the Dr. of Flow. I am here with the big guy as usual. Matt, I did another podcast today.
Yep.
And you guys will hear it, in a couple of weeks. But I was like, I'm here without the big guy, Matt Vai.
Throwing a holler out to me, not even being there.
Yeah, you weren't there, but I still had to give you some love,
That
man.
was, that's going to be great when Jill is incredible.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Look out for that one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Tune into that one. Guys. Make sure you finish this one too. Don't you finish what you start.
Do we know if this one's going to go out before that one? Because we could actually be talking about it like it's the wrong order because of.
Yeah, I mean this shit might go out today.
All right.
Awesome, guys. Well, before I let Matt tell you what we're talking about,
everybody listening is going to go. Of course, it went out today.
Yeah, this went out today. This is when I'm listening to it.
That's right.
And so, guys, before we get started, let Matt tell you what we're listening or what we're talking about, rather. Make sure you hit that follow, that subscribe button wherever you are. Go down to the link in the description below that says Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. And register for the Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. It's every single Friday from 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And we meet with brokers from across the country, listeners of the podcast, just anybody that wants to
get in there and share.
Learn more about real estate brokerage growth, whether it be recruiting, retention, or agent productivity. We'd love to see you there. It's a ton of fun. Bring some questions, bring a smile, and
be ready to
some
collab.
snacks or something.
That's right.
So, Matt, what are we talking about today?
So finding some recruits in your past customers and clients. Right?
Okay.
We've kind of talked about that. We've mentioned it on a recent BNSS. It kind of came up and everything, and I promised I'd throw some information out there about it. So figured we'd talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So, let's just go ahead and dive right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Right. So, when you're finding recruits from past customers and clients, right? Mm-hmm. I got my notes here.
Yep.
It says you want to ask your agents first.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Here's
what about your mom?
Yeah, you can ask your mom if you want. Ask her if it matters.
Great testimonial.
Yep, that's right. So the reason why you got to ask your agents first, right? Because they're going to have a preconceived notion of what's going on. A lot of times they've dealt with the customers and clients, and if they feel like it's in their sphere of influence, it could be threatening to them.
Yeah,
right?
I could see that.
Yeah, so you got to have that conversation first. The other thing is they don't want you snooping around their past customers and clients.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So make sure that you just kind of talk to them and get them get them excited about getting up to speed with the people that they have done business with and seeing whether or not that person wants to actually be part of the brokerage. Because what you don't want is you don't want to hire the person.
Yeah.
And then the agent walk in and go, "What is she doing here?"
What happened?
Hey.
Yeah.
Especially when there's some incentive involved or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
they list their house the next week.
That's right. Yeah. So step one, man, just ask your agents, have a conversation with them. And we'll talk about a couple of ways that you can do this, but bring it up in your sales meeting, right? Put it in your Facebook group if you have an office or company Facebook group or whatever, and just kind of start swirling it around and having that conversation. A lot of people have a bunch of opportunity in there.
Yeah.
And man, there is nothing like
a recruiting swirly.
Recruiting swirly, right? Yeah, there is that. That's not where I was going.
Oh,
but
okay.
All right, gotcha. But there is, it kind of sucks to know that you had a customer or client and somebody and then the next thing you know, you see them on the new licensee list, mm-hmm. right? And we'll talk about how you get in touch with them and all that kind of stuff. We'll dig into that as well. So
yeah, I've had past clients who got their real estate license, but then still used me to list their home or help them buy the next one, and when I talk to them about it, I'm like, well, what's up? I'm okay if you want to list your own home, right?
Right.
But they just say like, no, we got it in case we wanted to do like some vacation investing, mm-hmm. Investment rentals, rental properties, that kind of thing. So, you just never know. Mm-hmm. And I want to bring up that a lot of brokerages, you don't have to, but a lot of brokerages have incentive for agents mm-hmm. who bring on recruits
Right.
that do get hired. So there's still ways that agents can get compensated through that same person, maybe even more so than if they got their listing. If you look at it from a long-term standpoint.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a lot of times that people getting their license want to get their license, and they know that 2-3 years from now they're gonna transition out of what they're doing, or they're gonna sell their company, or they're gonna whatever, and then they're gonna do, and so they're just trying to kind of get their feet wet, right? Well, you want to make sure that you have those. You want to make sure that you have those conversations with your current agent and see what they know and how much they know about what's going on with it, right? I mean, I've mentioned this before. I was in a big group of a bunch of people, and we were all talking and everything, and it was a bunch of agents. And one of the agents said, "Oh yeah, well, so and so's getting their license, and I told Matt because they want to get their license, and they're contemplating joining here." And one of the other people who'd been in the business a really long time, said, "At so and so street address?" And they said, "Yeah, they're thinking about listing their home too." And they're like, "Well, I sold them that house." And so there was just this awkward hush across the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
How come? Because somebody didn't stay in touch with somebody.
That's right.
You don't own that person.
Yes, for sure.
Right? You can take responsibility for the relationship.
Yeah.
And you can own up to the relationship.
Yep.
But you don't own that person.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure you talk to your agents, though, and make sure that they understand that that's not the case, so that it doesn't cause an issue with somebody else, right?
Like culture shock or something.
That's exactly right.
Yep. So a company, from company standpoint, that is. And so the next thing on my notes here, it says, be consistent in your ask.
Yeah.
And here's the one thing that I've learned, and I think that's what's kind of strange when it comes, to like this part of the conversation is, like when you're recruiting, like consistency doesn't even really mean anything.
Okay.
Right? Am I right on that, or am I right?
Am I right, or am I right? Am I right? You're dead wrong.
Okay. Well, whatever, man. Go ahead with what you think.
Go on with your opinion and whatnot. You got to be consistent in your ask. I'd have something go out on a relatively regular basis, and when I say a regular basis, I don't mean every 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be maybe 3 times a year, something like that, right? Every 3-4 months, something like that. You're gonna reach out to them, and you're gonna have some type of benchmark, some type of reason, right?
Yeah.
We know that the school year is settling down, and so a lot of people are taking a closer look at a little bit of spare time that they had because the summer was eating all their spare time, and some people, contemplating getting their real estate license. If you're one of those people, let us know, because we've got a great scholarship program. We'd love to involve you in. If you're thinking about getting your real estate license, let us know. You're a past customer or client of ours. We want to treat you like family, something like that, right? But same thing, beginning of the year, right? You want to throw something out at the beginning of the year. Now is the time. If you're thinking about this, let's do that. Or
this is past customers.
Past customers, right?
Okay.
Yeah, past customers. And so we're just reaching out to them, saying things, and having a consistent message with what we're talking to them about. So it's not just, hey, do you want to buy and sell a house right now? Or, excuse me, do you want to join a real estate company? And do you want to join my real estate company because you bought and sold a house with us before? That's not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is, hey, here's a reason to do this. Here's what you might be thinking. Here's something that other people have thought that maybe you're thinking, and they've succeeded in real estate because of it. That's the kind of stuff we want to make sure that we're saying, so that it relates to them. Yeah. The other thing that I would say that is extremely important, and if you're going to do this 3 times a year, if you're going to send out, and I'm talking about an email or a letter, okay?
Yeah.
All right. I think a letter is better, okay? But, rock on. So every one of them should have a story in it. Every time you send it out, it should have a story. And the story should be about something that has to do with your agents and one of your agents succeeding 100% of the time. It should be as personalized as possible. I heard something really interesting lately that, and I've heard it in a couple of different places. Everybody's hearing, oh, tell your story.
Yeah.
Right? You heard that? Okay.
Million times.
And it's accurate because that's how people relate. Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's what I've heard recently that I'm like, oh, that does make a big difference. It's not just telling your story, okay? It's also how your story relates to that person. How relatable is your story to what's going on in their situation?
Yeah.
perfect example would be if you're going to send a letter out, you send the letter out and say, this person or that person, used us as a client, had used some other people in the past, has sold several houses, but was really excited about how the transaction went with us. She came on board. She's done this. This has happened. She won the Rookie of the Year award. If you're contemplating making a move into real estate, let us know. That way it's talking specifically to those people about that story instead of just saying, Billy Bob joined our company and now Billy Bob's a top producer, right?
Yeah. The end.
The end. That's right. So make sure that there is factually some correlation between the two. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that, it's not just about telling the story. It's about being consistent in the story. It's about being consistent in the delivery of the message. It's about being consistent in who you are. If you're going to send something out that says, hey, do you want to join, are you thinking about a career in real estate? We'd love for you to join our company, or we'd love to meet with your, scholarship program or whatever it is you're doing. Having something that says, here's the story a little bit about this person. By the way, we're also having the drop-off doggy gifts and get your photo taken with your dog with Santa Claus on Tuesday. If you know anybody that's interested. Santa Paws, that's right. If you know anybody that's interested, just let us know. So that way it's all collectively there together, and it's showing them the culture of who you are, not just, hey, do you want to join my company?
Hey, Dr. Ben here. I hope you're enjoying this episode. If sometimes you feel overloaded or alone when it comes to building your brokerage, I want you to know that we are here for you. There's so much support available to agents, but hardly any dedicated to brokers. I want to personally invite you to schedule a complimentary strategy call where Matt will help you build a 3-step profitability plan that will immediately produce results. This is not a sales pitch. There's no obligation. Simply click the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and from a story standpoint, although all those things and what you're saying is the most important aspect of it, stories are just entertaining. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so how many of us get mail or get emails, and it's like, just like you said, Billy Bob joined our company and he's doing awesome. Or we're offering this one thing. Or if the letter only talked about the scholarship program. Right. It's like, come on, man, give me a break. Right. Here's the scholarship thing again. Mm-hmm. But if you include like an entertaining story, then by the time they get to what you're actually offering or what you're trying to they've warmed up a little bit, basically.
Absolutely. And so, there's a connection.
Exactly. So be a little bit entertaining out there, guys. That's all I'm saying, right? That's why I'm here.
Right. Santa Paws.
Yeah. So I'm Santa Paws, right? And so, my last thing on my notes here says, consider targeting your clients/recruits.
Yeah. So here's what I would think about, and you can do a broad approach with this. Okay. If you'd like to do a broad approach, I absolutely love that. However, if you wanted to target, there is a way to target through that, right? So through the information, the data that you have already, do you not have much market share in a certain area? You've sold some houses in there, but you don't have a tremendous amount of market share in there. Maybe that's the people that you send that information out to. Okay. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of luxury properties and you want to break into the luxury market, right? Take your owners that were above a certain price point. Right? The people that purchase the homes that are above a certain price point. Let's say you don't do any investing business and you want to turn a corner and you want to do some investing business. Well, there's a lot of investors that would like to have the real estate license so that they could get referral fees. They might not ever be actively in the business, but they'd love to get the referral fees. So you can look at your group of people that you have and the people that have bought and sold from you, and you could segment that into places that you want to grow your business in.
Yeah.
Right. So do you have investors as an example? We talked about them, but what about somebody that's a buy and hold instead of a buy and sold investor? Right. Yeah. There's somebody that has a bunch of properties and they want to do a bunch of property management. Well, absolutely, you want to reach out to them and see if they want to get their real estate license, so that maybe they've got other friends that are in the investment group and they can refer those to you, and you can do more. Right. So there's a lot of different ways that you can pull this apart and dissect this and start being able to generate some opportunity from it, other than just saying, Here's the 4,000 people that I've sold houses to over the past X amount of time. I'm just going to send the same generic letter out to everybody, and I sincerely hope for the best. Slow down, take a minute, speak to the people that are in the groups that you want to speak to. Have the story, have the testimonial, and be able to target them a certain way, and you're going to get results that are the kind of results that you generated instead of you stumbled across.
Yeah,
because you were being targeted in what you were doing.
Yeah, no, I love that. Well, anytime targeting comes into play, that's like I'm a huge fan of that.
Right.
So, I've exhausted my notes, Matt. Is there anything else that you want to add to this conversation before I put a little bow on it?
Yeah, if anybody wants some letters, we've got some samples of some letters. Yeah. If anybody wants some letters, just put something in the comments or whatever. Reach out to us, and I've got a couple of different examples of some letters that we can send you for sure.
Oh, I've got it. I got it, Matt.
What's that, Ben?
If anybody wants some letters, register for Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society in the link in the description below, and then come and say, hey. Just put it in the chat. You can be like, you can sign in as iPhone 4. Right? We have people do that. It's okay. And the next time they show up, they're not iPhone 4. Right? Sometimes we get some of those, and it's okay. We love you.
Right.
Come in there, put in the chat, and say, hey, you guys were talking about some letters to send to some past clients.
Yep.
And man, I'll drop a link to that in the chat right there with you.
Yeah.
You can take it and go be a iPhone 4 hermit,
right?
wherever you want to be. We just want to make sure that we help you, but that's going to be the easiest way, absolutely, for you to get that.
Yep. Yeah. So absolutely that's part of it. Be consistent. Talk to your agents. Don't just look at this like it's a one-time thing. I sent something out and I sure hope it works. It should be something that is in place, and once you have it in place, you can have your virtual assistant do it.
Yeah.
You can have your administrator do it. You can have whoever. They're just knocking this out, and they go, oh, by the way, hey, I'm going to mail those letters out today. And you're going, what letters are you talking about? Remember the letters we talked about? We were going to send out 3 times a year. I've got these set out, and they're all segmented the way they're supposed to. I just need you to sign the bottom of them because we're getting ready to send them, or I'm getting ready to hit send on the email. Oh, yeah, fantastic. And then let it roll.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to hire 3 or 4 people a year from that? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. At least if you do it consistently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Well, as always, Matt, we love it when you come on the show.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're gonna have you on in a future episode.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, let's do that, Ben.
Guys, wherever you're listening to this, whether it be iTunes, if it's your first time ever listening, that's gonna sound a little weird. But welcome. Matt will be here every episode. And so, guys, wherever you're listening to iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, any of those platforms, make sure to hit that follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube, what's up? Make sure to hit that red subscribe button, that bell right beside it, to get notified every time we drop a new episode. There's no better time than the present to go to brokerpreneurpodcast.com. Check out all the cool stuff we have there to grow your brokerage no matter what phase or stage of the business that you're in. There's a little button on that page when you go there. It says schedule a 10-minute overview. Gosh, we can tell you in 10 minutes if all the things that we have will help your brokerage or not help your brokerage. And gosh, we only want to be on that help side.
Absolutely.
So take advantage of that. Matt is on that call. You're not going to like some salesperson.
Yep.
Because we want to make sure that we actually get to know each one of our brokerpreneurs. Matt,
we want to keep our promise, man.
That's exactly right. We do that for sure, as well as everything else that we do for one reason and one reason alone. Tell them what that is.
Man, we just want to be part of your win.